But
cameras. You were made for the lights.
man, I don't ever want to be famous though. We'll talk about that.
Shut the fuck up.
No, hell no.
You got that
I
famous
can't do
attitude already though.
I can't be I like my privacy way too fucking much.
Oh, you just
to be
gotta
famous.
keep it. You just gotta keep it separate.
Yeah, but that's hard if you're famous.
You just gotta keep a piece of you to yourself. You know, some people just.
Feel it now?
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
Yeah. How you gonna tell me I ain't dedicated? How niggas gonna sit up here and try to play? Like I ain't quitting overtime and grind to get the paper. Rarely had to push the line on life, I ain't nothing to play with. On G.O.D. got real G's and really all these favors.
That would be
Give them the
great.
scoop like I'll pass the label. Kept it drop on your spot, they get at you later. Poking out your chest, your game checkers with different type of players.
Could I not? You know, I've known you for so long. I was like, I gotta get her. Well, after you, I know you ain't got no filter. This is the gossip girl here. So what's the
honestly,
tea?
I was just like fucking around. Honestly, when I had commented, I already had a couple drinks in my system, so I was fucking around. Like, me next. But then I was like, oh shit, he's dead ass serious.
Yeah.
And when you hit me like right away, I was like, fuck.
Oh yeah, I had to make sure I got you on the schedule.
Now.
I seen you even had it in your bio that you weren't even taking on new clients.
Mm-mm.
So you book like that,
I can't, yeah. I'm just
I
like,
ain't gonna
hella
lie, that's
busy.
dope.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
it's hard to balance right now, at least for me. I'm still trying to balance it, but work and then like just my life outside of work. So like family, friends, on top of that, it's like there's always something going on. And as a business owner, you have no fucking days off. You're always working.
Of
whether
course,
you're out, whether you're on vacation, you're always responding
You're
to
always
clients.
working.
You're always working.
There's
You're
no
either
real
ordering
vacation.
no real vacation. You're ordering supplies. You have to make sure you have what you need. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot. And I will say it's amazing, but it's also not for the weak. Like, people think like, oh, you own a business, like you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can take whatever days off you want.
So what do you think shaped you to becoming that person that's strong enough to run that business? Like, let's go back to your childhood, you know what I'm saying, leading up to who you are today. What do you think that you went through in your life that kind of essentially made you who you are today?
Okay, so not a lot of people know this, but I've always been about my money, like, and I'm the oldest of, I have 2 little sisters. But when I was little, you can ask my mom this, but we laugh about it till this day, but I used to fucking, I was probably about like 10, I think maybe like 10 years old. She would still be asleep, but Saturday mornings, I would take shit that we would not use and like fucking have yard sales outside of the house. And my mom would wake up and like come outside and be like, what the fuck are you doing? You're giving away our house.
So just like always had that hustle ambition.
I'm like,
that's
I just gotta have the money. And I just love just being in charge of it. Like, just, you make the calls, really.
Yeah.
So, but I will say, I think I've always had it in me, starting from that.
Yeah,
when I think about it, I'm
It's
like,
always
damn, like
something
back
that
then
you
you don't
notice.
even think about that shit. But
Right.
I'm sorry, my cussing.
You're good. This
But-
is no filter. Like, you're good.
But yeah, when I think
back.
back, I'm like, damn, I was like 10 years old out there fucking having yard sales to fucking get some money.
So is that something that was just like, was that something that was in you already, or did you kind of like see your mom and dad, or you know your family around you like that?
My parents had me at, my mom was 15, my dad was 16, so like obviously they were kids when they had me, so I especially me, because I was the firstborn, we didn't really have much growing up. They were kids.
Yeah.
So just like seeing the struggle, just like seeing, I'm like, okay, money is really ruling every fucking thing around us.
As
and
much as we don't want to care about it, it's like you gotta have that understanding that shit. There's a lot of things in this world that we can't do without.
Exactly. And if there's something that you want, like, you gotta work for it. It's not gonna just get handed to you. I mean, some people might have it handed to them, but like, not coming from they also don't appreciate it. When you work hard for it, you appreciate it so much more, and you will take care of it. That's the thing.
'Cause you know what you had to go through.
Yeah.
So you're 10 years old and you're doing yard sales.
Yes.
So what happens after that?
After that, obviously, as soon as I was once I became of age to get a job, I got a job in high school right away because I'm like, we still didn't, I mean, I had a roof over my head and like everything. And the crazy thing is, like, people would see me in like high school and like think like, oh damn, like they that didn't know me and think like, oh, she got money, like she comes from and I'm like, and I wouldn't know this though until like after they got to know me. They're like, damn, I thought you were like this stuck up girl that just like had money. And I'm like you
no, I acted like that because I had to bust my ass and I watched my parents do it too.
Like I literally worked for every fucking thing I've had. As soon as I got a job, when I said when I was old enough, I paid for everything I had down here. Like if I wanted something, I'm not gonna go ask my parents like, oh, can you buy me this like Juicy Couture purse or like whatever. Like I had to work my ass off to buy that and like, you know, but basically that's kind of where it started. And I always wanted to be my own boss. I don't know, having to ask for people or
so another question, and let's go back, like what did you go through in your life with that, you know, to feel like, you know what, I don't want somebody else controlling what I'm going through, you know what I'm saying? Like is it something that essentially you seen your family go through, or just you just being a controlling person? What is it?
Honestly,
because a lot of people don't have it in them, you know what I'm saying? And
I like to have control of a lot of things. Like I'm also very stubborn. Like if things are like not in my control and it's not going the way that I want, I sometimes will catch like a little attitude because I'm used to getting what I want, but because I will work for it. You know what I mean? Like I'll do what it takes to like get what I want done. And so it's just, I don't know, I just always, and I've done, like I said, I've had jobs like leading up to like where I am now, and like what really did it for me is, so when I moved out here, so I'm from Merced, and when I moved out here like over 10 years ago, I was working, yeah, it's crazy, right?
Damn,
Time fucking flies.
Yeah, we're about 10 in.
Getting old now. But
hey, yo, don't say that.
You're the one with the babies.
We're at a new level. Chill
we
out.
are at a new. We're wiser.
It's a
we're
new
wiser.
level. It's
we
not
are,
age. You know, I'm at level 32 right now.
The way that I feel is you're as young as you feel. I will say young as you feel.
Exactly.
Because I don't feel like I'm in my 30s.
So yeah, I'm age 10. I'm still a kid.
See,
you gotta have the kid inside of you, though.
You do, and
that's where the creativity comes from.
It does,
though, you know what I'm saying?
and you have to have fun. Like you have to not take life like so seriously. Like you do have to be serious, and when it comes to business, it's business.
Yeah, definitely.
But like you have to have your fun too. Like you have to make time for that. But so when I moved out here, I had, you know, I got an office job because obviously like I needed something, and like I was probably getting paid like a little bit more than minimum wage, and it was doing it. But
what made you move out here?
I needed to get out of Merced. I needed to get out of Merced, and
just
my sister.
More room to grow.
Yeah, Merced is a place that like it's so small. Everybody knows everybody. It's just like I wouldn't even date guys from there because they all been with everybody, and like to me that's like. But anyways, so I just like had to get out of there. It's a place like you'll get stuck there, and like not really grow. There's not very many opportunities, and I've always just wanted to get out. And so my sister got accepted to Sac State.
Nice.
And that was my opportunity. I already had friends out here. I knew a lot of people out here already, so I was like, Sac, like perfect. Like I can move out. And my sister. I'm very independent, but I was already living on my own, but in Merced. But she's a very codependent person, I'll say. And so she didn't know anybody out here. She didn't know like, you know, and so I'm more like street smart. Like I kind of know a little bit more.
Kind of
in that aspect. So I was like, okay, I'll move out there with her, and like we'll get an apartment together. And, like, let her, you know, do her thing, meet her friends, and, like, after she meets friends and can do her own thing, then I'll go my own way, you know what I mean? But just to kind of help her out, and that was, like, my perfect opportunity to get out. of my town.
Of your town.
So,
so you use
I
her
made
as
that
an
move.
excuse to.
Yeah, I made that move. That was just the opportunity.
But sometimes that's all you need is an excuse, you know.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't even really like an excuse. It was just more of an opportunity. Like there was nothing really there for
that's
me.
a way better way.
There was nothing there for me. So like, I just couldn't wait to get out of there, and that was my chance. So I was like, let's do it. Like, let's go find a 2-bedroom apartment. And so we made the move, and then so I got like a little office job as like an office assistant. And once I learned the ropes and everything, like I was just getting very taken advantage of, I'll say. Like I was doing basically running the whole place after I knew what I was doing and everything, and people were getting lazy, and like I was doing everything in there and not getting paid.
You're good. Just
and not getting paid enough for it. You know what I mean? So
sorry, hold that. Turn those off because they're gonna do that again. We're good because we're not live, so we can always switch it up. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I just felt like undervalued, not appreciated, because obviously I wasn't getting compensated for everything I was doing.
Right.
Couldn't really take time off because the one time that I did take time off for my grandma's funeral, they were texting me the whole time. Like, I'm not even on vacation. Like, I'm in Mexico for a funeral, and you're over here complaining to me about work because it's too stressful on you. Like, what the hell? Like, I down here wanted to just throw the towel in and just,
because the
like,
company was falling apart because you're running it.
Yeah, and I'm
so
like...
did that help you realize that
too.
You're a boss?
Exactly. That's another part. I'm like, bro, like,
learning experience.
Like, I don't know. And then at that time, too, like, I stayed there for a couple years, and then, I was also, like, in a relationship that I just also needed to get out of. I was just in this situation where I was, like, not happy at all, like, in my relationship, my work life. I was stuck.
So let's talk about the relationship. You brought up relationships a couple times, and we was going to get there, but let's get there now. So, you're in this relationship, said person.
Wait, what do you mean?
With we don't have to say the name. I'm just saying said person that you're in a relationship with is hindering you.
Yes.
In a sense, that's how you felt.
Yes.
Okay. So what was it that you were going through in that relationship? I'm sorry to cut you off, but what is it that you're going through in this relationship with this person that you feel like, okay, you're holding me back from what I'm trying to do?
I was also carrying all the weight in that relationship, so it wasn't even. This is where I also learned how to, like, cut ties with certain people, whether it's relationships, friends, like, whatever, like,
this relationship taught you that?
Yes, like, I've learned to set so many boundaries, and not even just this relationship, because I even stumbled across another little situationship that was somewhat similar, and I feel like that was another lesson, like, you still haven't learned yet. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You think you were able to cut that one off sooner because of what you had already learned? That's
a little bit sooner. It still took a while, but a little bit sooner. And like now, though, I will say now, like strictly like now I don't have the fucking time for it. So like I don't.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: what was it that made you hold on for so long? Was the sex that good?
I'm just a very like loyal person, and like when I love very hard, and I will try to like pour into people that like I think can do better, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like try to
help them. It's a woman's intuition. I've always said that, as I know for a fact that women have a certain intuition about themselves. You know what I'm saying? I've experienced it in relationships.
And you have to trust. And that's the thing too. Like I've learned before, like I would just give the benefit of the doubt. You know, you want to see the good in everybody. But now I'm like, Yeah. If my intuition's going off, like I'm trusting the fuck out of that shit, because I will tell you right now, every fucking time in my past, I've always been right. And like me staying and like not trusting it, what doesn't matter if it's like relationships or friends or like people around me, like it will always come to light eventually. And like the longer I stay and like brush it off, it just makes me waste more time, waste more energy on people that are like not good for me.
And you know what I've learned is not that was probably the first negative thing that I heard. Like, I like where your mind was at with the whole relationship, and you were talking about, you know, you learned the lessons, but don't ever feel like you wasted time though. That's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes God puts you in a situation and you could cut it off immediately. You know what I'm saying? And you got the intuition, you ignore it for a reason.
Exactly. You have to
sometimes
learn those lessons.
Exactly.
And that's why I also not recently, but like before I spiritual, like I pray all the damn time. I will pray at night. I pray at night. I wake up every morning and like just give my gratitude for what I have and like what is coming my way, and even for my lessons. Like even for my lessons, because I know like if I didn't go through those certain things, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And like I said, I'm a very stubborn person. Yeah. So sometimes like it takes a lot for me to like realize like damn, like okay.
But God will humble you.
Get it.
And he will. That's one thing I can attest to, is that he will humble you. You know what I'm saying? Because that stubbornness will get you in a lot of trouble sometimes. Yeah.
Yes, it definitely will. But yeah, so it's just like people, you learn to let go of people that are just like, you feel like are kind of holding you back and are kind of just like, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I was still entertaining these certain relationships for people at all. Like at all.
And it's hard to when you're like, when you're such a good person, it's like, the last thing I want to do is have to leave this person that essentially is in a bad position. But it's like, I mean, how long do I hold on to it until I end up in the same? Because I mean, you know what they say, you know, as you hang around 5 broke people, you become the 6th.
You literally, like, I'd gotten drained. Like, so, like, when I decided to move, like, I was drained in every way possible, like, because I was the one carrying the whole thing and, like, supporting, like, everything. I was drained mentally, emotionally, like, financially. Like, I was taking care of the whole household.
Man,
and that takes so much, and I finally, like, and then on top of that, like, I wasn't happy at my workplace. So I was like,
so you didn't even have nothing to come home to that was peaceful, that did make you happy to kind of balance it out. I get it. I get it. You know, it's dope. But I'm glad that you were able to get past that sooner. I had somebody tell me a story not too long ago about someone that they had met in particular. They had been in a marriage for 30 years, you know, and essentially she ended up deciding that it was time for divorce after 30 years. That's a long time, you know. But her reply to what the person had asked, I don't know it verbatim, so I just won't say it, but she said, you know what, I carried this person as far as I could. That's a long way to carry somebody, you know.
And that's a long time of pouring into someone. But, and it's hard, you know, but, like, sometimes you just have to. Also, I will say, it's comfort. Like, you're comfortable with, like, certain people and, like, certain things. But at the same time, like, if you're comfortable with, like, not being happy and, like, you're comfortable with, like, toxic situationships, that's not.
So, but it's also this, too, and it's something that I learned as of late, is you attract what you are.
Exactly.
So the way that you feel about yourself is the people that you end up in these situationships with and all of that, you know. So it seems like you had your experience on that, and you had to find self-love. Like, no, hold on. I love myself. Well, I love you, but I love myself way more now. I have to let you go. Once you grasp a hold of that and you understand that if I can love myself better than anybody can, you won't put up with nobody's bullshit.
And I feel like that's where I am at now. Like, I just fucking
love it.
I'm sorry, but like, no more three strikes, you're out. Like, first strike,
for sure.
You're just not for me. Like,
we ain't playing baseball.
Exactly.
You're playing with my heart, and I'm not letting you play with it.
And I also don't have the fucking time. Like, there are other guys, like, literally waiting for a chance, and like, I'm over here, like, I'm not gonna let people just like walk all over me anymore. I'm like,
to be such an ambitious woman, a lot of men couldn't deal with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The busy schedule and all of this. And you know, I always see it more often than not. flip the other way, and it's always the memes of, well, you want a broke nigga or a nigga that's busy. You know what I'm saying? Well, shit, do you want a broke bitch or do you want a bitch that's busy? You know what I'm saying? So, and I think it makes it more enjoying that way when you know you're with somebody that matches your hustle, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
And that just understands, like, you know, like...
But how can you understand if you got all this free time? You're mad at me like I'm not making time for you. You don't understand that I don't have it.
Man, you tell me. Like I said, like with the lashing, like sometimes guys will get mad at me because I wasn't texting back right away. Like, you know I'm at work. You know I'm working with my hands. Like, I'm not going to stop my session with my client to text you back. Like, I'll text you when she leaves and I'm in between clients. You know what I mean? Like,
or
in between clients.
Send me $5 to $10 every time you send a text message.
I'm like,
you ain't paying me.
I'm like, But also that, too, like, that's why my clients also, I love my clients. And they love me. Like, I'll say they're not even just clients to me, they're really good friends to me now at this point. They're very loyal. Like, they've been getting
relationships with them.
Yeah, they've been getting their lashes done with me for years. So they know I'm very reliable. Like, I will not cancel on them. I will not reschedule on them because I'm like hungover or I want to go on this trip. Like, if I have you on my books, that's what it's gonna be.
Right.
Like, unless it's an emergency or like I'm really fucking sick.
Right. Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, no. I've even had, there was one guy, some guy that would offer to like pay for, he would invite me out on like little trips and be like, I'll pay for your days, like I'll pay for like whatever you're gonna make that day. And to me, I'm like, no, like I can't do that because like my clients are relying on me and like that. Then
it's like, see, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna give you some game. So when you do have those free days, be like, well, I got this and that day, you want to pay for those days? Because if you don't, I am going to book it up. You know what I'm saying? You put it on the schedule. Man. Put it on the schedule.
I got to put everything on the schedule.
That's free
literally,
game for you,
I have to
you know
put everything on the schedule. I might do that.
I ain't going to lie. Shit. I would love to be with somebody that's like, hold on, I can put you on my schedule, you know? Because I need somebody that can understand that shit. I got a schedule to keep as well. You know what I'm saying?
And that's where, like, so the dating now, like, it gets a little bit hard because I have so much going on, like, even outside
work. You just know what you want.
I do, but also just trying to find that time. And you also have to, you have to make me, like, want to give my time to you. So, like, I have to feel like, okay, like, this guy's really consistent.
So, for the guys that are watching, okay, we're about to get into it. Let's find out, what is it that Alyssa wants? Look,
I'm not going to tell you what I want or what I need because there's a lot of guys that will come and play the part.
Exactly.
So, I
was hoping that's what you was going to say.
I can't say that. No, when I find it, you'll know. Actually, and I'm also very private with that stuff, so you probably won't know until I got a ring on my finger and a baby on.
Because you don't want it. Because that's game that's not supposed to be given away. You know, everybody's love language is different. Is it too hot?
No.
Okay, cool. I'll just make sure. Yeah, so essentially, like, that's game that you don't give away. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when you find people not being genuine. Like, oh, okay, let me write this list down. She wants A, B, C, and D. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna play the part. And then
to get what they want, and then
But then it's this though. It's the consistency isn't there because you're doing this, but then after that you don't know what to do.
Yeah. And then also there's a lot of, and this can go for guys and girls, but like there's a lot of opportunists out there that they will see like, damn, she's doing good. Like she's, you know, she got her business, like she's traveling, she's doing this and that. Like, I want to be a part of that. Like, let me go see what I can get out of that.
Why not come build with me? And that's the thing is that you're like you're inviting you into the situation and you're not coming with nowhere near.
Like, what are you bringing to my table? Because I already got a whole table, but like, are we gonna?
And it's full. I could move some shit over for you, though. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna bring some good shit to the table, but don't come with that dry ass macaroni and cheese.
Period. Exactly. So like, I don't want no microwavable stuff that you can just like fucking throw in the microwave for 3 minutes. No. Yeah. But so it's just. It can get a little bit tough, but also it's just like, okay, if I feel like you're genuine, like you're really, you know, you have having
it
like
sounds
a brain
like
fart,
it,
but
yeah, but it sounds like you really found that self-love though, and that self-care.
yeah,
You know,
yes.
and that's what it's about. So yeah, it can feel hard, but when you have that alone time, it seems like you just appreciate your own alone time
and
instead of filling that part of your
that
schedule,
part.
so to speak,
That
with
part.
somebody else to distract you.
That part.
That's
Like,
the
I
best part.
love being alone and I love my me time, and I barely get that as
Yeah.
it is now. So, like, even like Valentine's Day, I had someone invite me out to dinner, but it was kind of last minute, and I already had my own plans to
Right.
like go home and chill after work,
Yeah.
and like DoorDash myself some good food and like
Yeah,
chill,
there
watch
you
a
go.
movie for
Oh,
once.
And that's a dangerous
And I was like,
person.
I'm just trying to chill, like, you know, like
I don't know if you know that, but that's dangerous. It is.
well,
Because you could have been the girl that you were essentially a
Mhm.
couple years ago.
oh yeah,
You know,
for sure.
and not taking into consideration like, oh, nigga, you just hit me last minute.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You're okay with being by yourself
I love
That's-
being alone.
because
Like,
you love you.
yeah. And that's the thing too,
That's
is
dope.
like it's very before I felt it more as like being selfish, you know?
It is
but
in a sense.
at
There's
the
a right
same
and
time-
wrong. Excuse me, wrong.
Yeah.
There's a right and wrong way to you know.
exactly. And now I'm like, there's no. It's okay to be selfish when it comes to you,
Yeah.
because no one's gonna take care of you
Yeah.
besides yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like if you don't have your own, like, it's just like, say if I get into a relationship and like they're like, oh, I'll take care of you, da da da, whatever the fuck, and like
It's
you know,
nice to know.
it's nice to know, or
But
like,
let's build
but how?
something though. See, and that's
Yeah.
the thing, is because where your mind is at, you'll always be your own boss. So
Yeah.
in a sense, you're not the stay-at-home mom, so to
Right.
speak, and you know, the housewife. Like, yeah, I'll do some of those duties
Right.
if you make me feel comfortable enough to do it. But
Right.
at the same time, help me build this business.
'Cause
How can I take it to the next
Right.
level? How can we franchise
Right.
it? So yeah.
And I also just like to have my own, regardless. Like, even if I were to have the opportunity to, like, be a stay-at-home wife or mom or whatever it is. But, I just, what if one day this guy decides, like, nope, I'm leaving you. Like, and if I didn't have my own,
Yeah.
what am I going to fall back to? Like, and that's one thing my family has always told me is, like, do not ever rely on a man. Like, don't ever rely on a man.
And it goes both ways, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, it's not a bad way to think, but at the same time, don't cheat yourself from something that could be good, though. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like,
And-
of course, always have your own, have that drive and ambition, you know, do that. You know what I know about women is women juggle a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So there will be that time when you do become a mother,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you have those motherly duties that you have to do. But
Mm-hmm.
from you explaining everything that you've been through leading up to this point, you won't have a problem with being that mother and coming home and cooking dinner and all of that,
Oh, yeah.
but still running that business. And, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And it takes a real man with his own ambition and drive to see
Mhm.
that and really appreciate it, though.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, it really takes two. It takes two. It takes commitment. Communication is like the
That's the
biggest
biggest
thing. Like,
thing.
everyone, you need to learn how to communicate.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, just be honest with me. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, guys. I feel like a lot of guys just like to just lie about like the stupidest shit sometimes, and I'm
So
like,
what's some of the lies you heard?
Man.
Come on
I've
now, we
heard-
here on No Filter Podcast.
I've heard a lot of
No
lies.
filter.
Okay, but
I want to know.
I've heard.
I'm sure some of these other people out here want to know too. So
Okay, so well, I will say, okay, I guess it was kind of a lie, but let me tell you
Kind of
about
a
my cutest fucking worst first date. This man had been trying to take me out for like a year, and I don't know why, I never really said yes,
Your
you know?
intuition told you?
Exactly, and I didn't realize that at first. I was just like, I don't know, but like we would still talk, like we became cool, like as
Yeah.
friends. And so finally, like a year later, I was like, you know what, fuck it, like I'll let you take me out.
Mhm.
And so he had a son, I think at that time that was like a year and a half or whatever. And so once I let him take me out, first dates are damn near like interviews to me now.
Of course.
Because like I need to ask you all these questions that like I need to know to even see if like you might be for like we'll see where it goes, but like to even consider like a next date or like whatever, you know. So he plans this cute picnic for me out at the Rose Garden, like picks up takeout, champagne, orange juice for mimosas, like everything, like hella cute. I had never had anyone like set a little picnic up for me, so it was cute as fuck. I was like, oh my god, like okay, this is cute. So we get there, we start eating and talking and shit, and then obviously I get down to like my questions, and I ask him, I'm like, okay, so what's the deal with like, I knew he had a kid, so I was like, so what's the deal with like you and your BM, like are you guys cordial? Because like I said, I need to know what I'm getting into.
Right, yeah, of course.
So I'm like, are you guys cordial? Like what's that looking like? He's like, we're still together.
Hey,
I damn near spit my champagne out because I and then I was like, he's fucking with me, you know, like he's joking around, like he's fucking with me because like I said, we have been kind of chit-chatting here and there, like we were cool, so we had like a sense of humor. And so I was like, nah, he's fucking with me, like. But then he starts getting into their problems, and
shit,
I'm
so
like, oh, he's dead ass. It was a whole therapy session, and I'm like, you should be doing this shit for her, like no,
right, yeah, why
like,
are you here with me?
And he's just like, well, just tell me about. I'm not gonna get like into like their problems, but.
Right. No, we don't have to
just
do all
telling
that,
me, like, you know, like, whatever was going on.
So that was the last
like,
date you went on?
No. This was probably, like, almost 2 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe. But, this one was just, I will never forget this day, I'm telling you that. Because I was just, and I was so, like, intrigued, too. Because I'm like, I need to know what the fuck, like, how the fuck do you guys get away with it? Or do these men, they're not, you guys are not all the same, and I know that, but like.
But what I do know is this though, because of the self-love that you have in the relationships that you did go through, you know what questions to ask.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I was like, bro, like, okay.
But then some women don't care. Because
and that's what he
and I'm
said
gonna tell
too.
you this
yes.
right here though is the fact that because y'all be trying to play the same games we play sometimes. Not understanding that you guys, y'all emotions are different. So yeah, you play it for a moment and then you get that one quick fuck or a nigga say something to you essentially to make you fall in love, and now you ignore the fact that I already told you I was with her.
Period.
But now you're mad at me.
And that's where they think that it's okay because they're like, well, I already told you. So.
Yeah. So how can you be mad?
Yeah. So,
See, it sounds like you've already dealt with that, and that's why you're not okay with it. So listen to her, ladies. She's already been through it. You know what I'm saying?
I've been through that.
Y'all been through it as well. Y'all just
lot.
think y'all smarter sometimes. And sometimes I think it ain't gonna leave.
No. And if so, even if he does leave, like, do you really want to be with someone like that? Because he could leave you next.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and that's how I look at, I ain't, looking to date nobody right now, but that's how I look at women though, you know what I'm saying, is that, alright, maybe depending on what, I'm all about protecting my energy now, you know what I'm saying, so I'm not necessarily worried about that, but it's this though, it's always having the understanding that the way that you get somebody is the way that you could lose them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying, so do you really want to be with somebody that is leaving somebody else to be with you while you guys are in a love triangle?
Right. And so on this date, like, I asked him because I was still sitting there confused. I'm like, okay, well, people are different. Some people have open relationships and stuff, so I'm still trying to understand, like, what's really going on. So I'm like, okay, so is she okay with you seeing other women? And he's like, no, hell no, she wouldn't be okay with this. I'm like, fuck did I just get myself into? And then I'm like,
this was
okay.
the best date ever.
I'm like, okay. It was a Sunday. Football season was going on, and like, this is dead ass a true story. Like, I can't make this shit up. And I was like, so where does she? Because I want to know these things, like I said. So I'm like, where does she think you're at right now? He's like, oh, watching the game with my friends.
Hey,
bro, I'm like, I fucking cannot right now. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And also, I'm like, the disrespect, like, not even just to her, but like to me, because like you thought that I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, you really thought that I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
Like,
so not to defend him, like, but.
And then he said, he was like, well, you know
are.
what? Like, some girl, like, that's why I decided to, like, be honest. Obviously not with the baby mama, but, like, with other girls. He's like, because, like, if they're okay with it, then
afraid
cool.
Of being alone. He don't necessarily want to be with her, but he doesn't want to be alone.
I don't know, and I told him, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not about to judge you. You do you, like, because you're gonna keep doing whatever you're doing.
Right.
But it's not for me.
Yeah,
like, I don't want. I believe in karma.
Did you take the charcuterie board with you when you left?
No. No, what did we get? I forgot where we got our. He got takeout from.
Oh, there was no charcuterie board.
It's crazy.
Picnic has to be.
Just had the mimosas and the strawberries, and after that, I was fucking chugging my shit. Like, I was like, it was a whole therapy session that. But whatever. Honestly, at the end of the day, I'm like, at least I got a cute picnic. Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. It was a therapy session, but at least I got a picnic.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah, and he was
So let's go back to your business that you've been, you know, not the,
yeah.
Yeah. Let's get back to the important parts. That you've been your own boss, all of that, right? So what did it take you to essentially become that? Like you went to school for that, I'm assuming, all of that, like your license and all that.
So, like I said, like after when I was like out here working that office job and in that relationship, like I just felt like I was just so unhappy. I just needed to get out. So I finally was like, you know what, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna move back home because like I couldn't work a full-time job and go to cosmetology school at the same time.
Oh. So yeah, sometimes you gotta make those sacrifices.
So you have to make sacrifices, and so I decided, fuck it. Like, okay, I'm gonna move back home with my parents for the year that I have to go to school. That way, I can just go to school and knock that shit out, and then, you know, come back here when I'm done.
Yeah.
And
so your plan was always to leave and to you wanted to come back to Sac.
Yeah, I was not gonna stay there. Like I said, Merced is just not for me. And even then, when I was going to school out there, a lot of people didn't even know I moved back home because I was still here every fucking weekend because I just did not. There's nothing there for me.
Yeah.
Besides my family. My family's the only reason I even go visit.
To the local bars, all that.
No. So, I moved back home with my parents. I went to school. I worked like a little part-time job with my mom, just to get, you know, a little money.
Right.
Like I said, I needed to have my money. But I ended up, just to fast track it, to make my time go by, because it's by hours in cosmetology school.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to get the shit done as fast as possible. I was doing 10-hour days at school just to like knock my hours out. So I was literally wake up in the morning and I would drive to Turlock, so probably like 30 minutes from Merced every day, just to like there and back to knock it out. And then as soon as I was done, and the crazy thing is, so I did go to college, like community college when I graduated high school. Was not for me. Also, I was very young. And I didn't really know like exactly what I wanted to like do yet. So I was switching my majors like crazy. Wasn't doing very good in school because I just wanted to party at that time as well. My parents were very strict.
So let me ask you this: do you think that it was the reason why you maybe weren't so focused at that time because it just wasn't something for you?
Yeah. I feel like it's not really. I didn't know what I wanted to really do. It wasn't something that I was interested in.
Kind of trying.
Yeah. So it just wasn't for me. Like I wasn't. My grades were like not the greatest, and finally I was like,
well,
okay.
How could they be? You don't have no interest in what
I wasn't interested in it. So I had always loved to do hair, and this is the crazy thing too because I originally went to cosmetology school to do hair.
Oh, okay.
Like I've always done hair. I've always done my family's hair. I always did my own hair. So that's what I went to school for. That's why I did cosmetology, and I ended up doing lashes. Like because I don't know, I just ended up falling in love with lashes. I feel like it's more consistent. Like I get clients every 2 to 3 weeks rather than every like 4, 6 to 8 weeks.
Right.
And also, like, depending on what someone wants done to their hair, you can be spending hours on someone, and like, I just feel like you make more money doing lashes sometimes, depending.
So is it still a skill that you do have though? That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
But you just
I still
found
do
out
my
like
own hair.
this is my specialty though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And like my family sometimes will try to beg me to do their hair, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
So
not
how
doing
was
it.
it when? Okay, so you get out of school. Do you go work for somebody else first, or you just like soon? Okay, you did. Okay.
So like let me say this too. Like so when I went to cosmetology school, so like I said, in junior college, my grades were shit. In cosmetology school, literally all tests passed hundreds because I was actually interested in it. I was interested in it, and it's what I wanted. So I was like, you know what? Like when I dropped everything, I was like, no, this is what I've always wanted to do. So fuck it, let me just do it. I'm gonna have to move back home, but like for a year. But like, let me just.
And your parents were like overly supportive of all
Yeah,
of it?
oh yeah.
So
if it wasn't for my family, like they definitely supported.
Because it takes a village. It does.
Yeah.
Even when you are an adult, you know what I'm saying? It's tough for some people. Some people don't have that, you know what I'm saying? Some people are, once you graduate from high school, it's over, you're cut off, you gotta go figure your own shit out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not understanding that we don't really know what we want to do.
And I will say, like, after high school, like, I cut myself out. Like, I moved out on my own. I was like, I'm moving out because, like, my parents were strict. I wanted to party.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm out the house. Like, I'm going to do what I got to do to pay my own bills and, like, I'll figure it out.
Sneaking in and out of my window and shit.
Yeah. I've snuck out too many times. So I'm like, I don't need to be sneaking out no more. So. Like, I'm old enough now. So, well, once I was 18, I was out. But, so in cosmetology school, I actually ended up being I got the dean's list, and they had me be their honor speaker at our graduation. Out of everybody, they had me be their honors. It was actually great. Yeah. It was very great. Like, I was a little bit nervous, but they were like,
of course.
Yeah. So that's the crazy thing. I'm like, college, no. But that, like, I did great. It's what I wanted to do. So, like, from going to, like, D's and C's in college to being like dean's list and like, and it's not, you think like cosmetology, like it's just shits and giggles. It's chemistry, it's anatomy, it's those tests.
So there was a point in my life when I actually went to barber school. So I was there with the
it's a lot.
Not Paul Mitchell, it's the other it's another one that I went to. So the shit that I was like, I wasn't expecting this. So so for everybody that thinks that it's just easy, it ain't.
Not easy. You know? You literally, it's anatomy. We learn bones and like fucking your phalanges and like your little it's crazy. It's a lot, and then chemistry on top of that, because with hair you're dealing with dyes and chemicals. So it gets pretty deep. It's not easy, but like if you're focused and you're interested and that's what you want to, like I said, well, at least for me, I knew that's what I wanted to do, so I'm gonna do what I have to do to make it happen.
That's that. Just do what you love. You know? But sometimes you have to try other things to even figure that out. Sometimes you already know. Like I know for me, like I knew what I wanted to do was always music, and this just came about, you know, from that. But I tried to be an electrician, you know. I tried to be a barber. I tried.
Honestly,
I had to accept the fact that this is what I actually wanted.
Honestly, and you never know until you try. Like you, and if there's not, even if like you do this on top of like being an electrician, there multiple incomes. There's want to have multiple incomes.
Of course,
So it's like that. But you kind of need multiple
gotta
incomes.
Find things that you love, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I always been the person that I'm okay with struggling. Doing what I love, because happiness is priceless. You know what I'm saying? So money is, we gotta have money. I'd rather be broke and feel rich within myself, though. You know, doing something that I love, it's gonna figure itself out. But you gotta work hard at anything, though.
You do, you really do. You have to work very hard for it. So, you know, some people think they want it and then they get into it and they get like, no, like I can't do this. So you really have to be committed to it. Like you're gonna have your ups and your downs. Like it's not always gonna be busy. Like you're gonna have your slow times. Like sometimes the economy, like shit is expensive as fuck right now. So people have to cut back on certain things. you don't really need your lashes. They're addicting.
Women, y'all don't care about that shit. You build different.
I will eat top ramen before like not getting my nails. Like I know I'm a lash artist,
that's what I'm saying.
but I can put some strips on and be okay. But like my nails always have to be done. Like that's one thing about me is like my nails have to be done. Like I don't think you'll ever catch me without my nails done. I think even during the pandemic, when the nail shops were closed, remember I had to throw those press-ons on? Mm-hmm. You see me and I glued one on crooked? I was like, bro, look at this shit. I put one on crooked, but I had to have my nails.
I feel it. So you're working for somebody else.
Uh-huh.
How's that going?
Okay.
Or how long did that last?
So after school, I started working for a corporate company, Amazing Lash out here. Right away I started, once I got my license, I started applying to jobs out here because obviously I'm like ready to move back. Actually, I moved back here before I even had a job.
Hey, that's
but I knew I was gonna get a job. I knew I'm like that's easy. Like I'm not gonna. It's not gonna take long. Like by the time I move in and get my shit together, I will have a job. So I already knew that was gonna happen, and so I got the job. I applied. I got the job, and that was like It's just lashes. And I also before I even got my cosmetology license, I was like waiting for my state board date. Yeah. I went and took a lash class to get certified for lashes.
Oh, nice.
So I had that. That was like a 1-day training, and I will say right now, like if you girls are interested in like getting certified in lashes, do not waste your money on lashes takes time. You cannot learn everything in 1 day, and it's money. Like, I think I paid $1,200 for that 8 hours, and you don't learn, like, literally, it was so much information, I didn't even get to do shit.
Too much
I didn't learn anything, like, besides getting a little certificate,
so
like,
it was
and then
like
a little kit. Yeah. So I'm like, no, if you're gonna do like a lash training, it has to be at least 3 days, like minimum, like, but, so I did that little class, and so I started working with this corporate company, and I will say, like, I learned a lot with them, and it definitely helped me get comfortable with taking in clients and, like, learning more what I was doing, and then, like, building my skill.
Right.
So it helped me get very comfortable with that, and then, I was with them, I want to say 2 years, and then the pandemic hit, but before then, like, I was the lead stylist for a little bit. They offered me the lead role.
Yeah, why wouldn't you be?
But at the same time, I was fully booked. Back-to-back clients.
Yeah.
And, like, I never had really a break, which is okay. But they expected me to do so much other shit on top of that, and you couldn't have no overtime or anything. So I'm like, when do you want me to do this?
Yeah, what?
Like, I barely have time to go pee. Like, literally. So, I'm like, and, and so I'm like, I was like, you know what, like, I loved it there at first, like, I was very happy, I love my clients, but once I got the lead role, I felt honored, and I was like, okay, let me try to do this, but I had no time.
Yeah.
So, I ended up going to my manager, and I actually stepped down, because I was like, I can't. Like,
did you feel like,
I
in
can't.
a sense, like you were being taken advantage of? Like, was the pay not matching out? What, you know, like...
The pay was okay, but I didn't have the time. Like, they expected so much, because you're literally on a schedule, so they have your schedule booked, and mine, it was just booked back to back to back to back to back. So I had no in-between time to, like, talk to the girls, like... I rarely did to like and like help them out as much as they needed. Like, obviously, if they were to come ask me like during lunch or like when they would see me, like more than happy to help them.
Yeah.
I would if they had questions, I would always help them. But I couldn't do it how they expected me to, I guess. But I don't. It's because I explained to my manager, I'm like, I don't know how you expected this of me when I'm with my clients literally all day.
Yeah.
Besides when the girls see me like in the halls or in the break room, like sanitizing my tweezers or like, you know.
Yeah.
So
like you
I'm
want me
like,
to do all of this, but you know I don't have the time. You're the one setting the, they're setting the schedule, right?
Yeah. And then, like I said, they don't want us to have overtime. So I'm like, I can't do it. Like I really can't.
So was that the push that you needed to essentially say, you know what, I'm gonna just go into business for myself?
Not yet. So I stepped down because, like I said, I'm very loyal. Like I feel so bad, like leaving companies. Like I don't know. Especially when I I felt like they kind of needed me.
Well, that's how your relationships were too.
I felt like they kind of needed me, and they're again back to like even the relationship. So like I said, relationships,
that's what I'm here to
friends,
do, is just to relate things. You know what I'm saying? And just because now you see how everything comes full circle. Though.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I've done so much self-reflecting during that pandemic. Like I said, I live alone, so during the pandemic, I had a whole lot of time to myself. So that's when I started my business. That's when I became very more spiritual.
Nice.
So like,
you don't be playing with crystals, right? Ain't
no.
nothing wrong with crystals or nothing like that. Let's just get that out there.
I do sage and I do Palo Santo a lot just to like cleanse my energy sometimes.
Oh yeah,
especially
in case y'all didn't know, this is not a white girl.
She's I am Mexican. Okay, I speak Spanish.
And I'm not a white boy, okay? So I can say nigga.
Stop. But the crystals and stuff I don't know really how that stuff
we can get
works.
past that because somebody's not gonna like that when they hear it.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the crystals.
Nothing wrong with it.
Crystals, that's okay.
Like if you believe it, more power to you. Like I'm an open book. I'm non-judgmental, and that's another reason why my clients love me. They know like whatever. It's basically a therapy session for them as well because they.
Well, you're like my barber.
Yeah.
My barber knows everything about me.
I know everybody's tea, and I have clients that range from 16 to 80 years old.
Oh, that's what's up.
80 years old, and all different kinds of lashes, but like they just come. They all have different tea, but you can imagine. But it's they know they're comfortable with me.
You might need to start a podcast.
Dead ass, I've thought about it before. My client, and I'm like, I don't have time. So. But I've got so much tea, but that stays in the last room.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they're comfortable with me. They open up like whatever they have to get, because a lot of people don't have someone that they can open up to and like vent to, you know, that they trust.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel like I'm that person to them that they know. I'm not gonna go telling nobody their business because also like that's between you and also that's your business. Like what you tell me. Okay, cool. Like, I'm gonna give you, like, if you're asking for, like, my opinion or whatever, like, I'm gonna give it to you, but, like, what you do...
lessons from the things that you hear, though.
And also, what I've been through, too, like, I'll let them know, like, look, I've been in something similar, or, like, he's playing you, or, like, you know,
that's why I like this. I feel like with the experience that I have throughout life, like, I can sit down and have this conversation with you, you know, we can kind of relate, but... I'm learning as we're having this conversation, and hopefully you are as well.
Yeah. So it's just you do just a lot of growing. So during the back to like the job I was working at. We ended up getting. So I stepped down because I was like, I don't have the time. So give it to somebody that does have the time, which was another rule that. I don't even want to say it because she might be watching this. But
come on, you
I was like, she has the time, and
you know who you are. She don't like you. She's mad.
I don't know.
No, I'm just playing.
I don't know about that, but she. So I let you. And honestly, when I went to my manager, I actually broke down because I was at a breaking point. So, and I'm not like really a crier either, but I was like at a breaking point to where I was like, I just can't. Like now I'm not even really happy to come to work because you're expecting so much of me that like, you're not giving me the time to do it really. You know what I mean? Like I can't give these girls that attention that you're needing of me. And like on top of that, like, the other things you're asking of me, like, where is the time to do that? Because, like, I'm booked, like, all the time.
Right.
So, I was like, just give it to someone else that does have plenty of time.
Right.
So she was like, are you sure this is what you want to do? And I'm like, yeah.
Well, either that or you
because also it was only $1 more of a raise. Like that fucking dollar gets taken out in taxes. So I'm getting stressed the fuck out and like not being happy to come to work for a fucking dollar that I don't even see in my check, really.
A lot of people don't look at it that way.
So I was like, bro, like, you know what, let me go ahead and step down. Like, I don't need that title. Like, I want to be happy. Like, I'm going to be good. Like, and plus my clients tip me. So it's like, I don't need that fucking dollar when my clients are tipping me more.
So what was it that made you realize that, you know what, I could just go in a business for myself?
So it already had been the game plan. Mm-hmm. But it was just more the timing of it because, like I said, like I didn't really feel right just being like, okay, I'm out. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like especially since like they had a lot of clients for me that would only see me. Right. So it's like if I leave, they're all gonna leave, and I didn't feel right doing that to them. But then the pandemic hit. We went on shutdown. So during that pandemic, everything shut down. They were like, all right, we have to close shop. So we closed shop. And during that time, that's when I first, you know, I just had a lot of time to myself. And then I started thinking, like, if I'm going to do it, like, this is the time to do it. Right. This is the time to do it. Start getting a game plan. Start getting your shit together.
Did you already have, like, your client list and everything? Like, from...
So I did have, honestly, like, there were a couple clients from there that had my phone number. Oh, okay. So that we got very close, that I got very close to. But besides that, I started building on top of that. Otherwise, like, some of those clients that I did not have contacts to found me. They found me and they were like, hey, like, are you still for you? Yeah. So they found me like on, and I'm never on Facebook, but like they found me on like Facebook. I'm like, how the hell did you even, okay. But yeah, so it was that, and then like my friends, and then just after that, just word of mouth. And then just, that's how it kind of built. But my clients, some of my clients were waiting for me to get out of there. They're like, you need to get out of here. Yeah. Like, I'm going to follow you. They're like, this isn't, you know, you need to do your own thing. Like, and I will be there with you, and I will bring people to you. They're like, the only reason I come here is for you. And also they're like, you're very rushed with lashes. Like, so as I was a master stylist, so as a master stylist, you only have 50-minute fills. Lashes, to do it correctly, like, it takes a lot of patience, but it takes about an hour and a half to do, like, So when you're rushing,
I don't get mine done, so. But
when you're rushing, you're literally, it takes a lot of time. That's why they're so fucking expensive. But it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of patience, all the supplies. But, like, when you're doing that in 50 minutes, you're rushing, you're not doing it properly. Yeah. You're getting, and that's because it's a corporate company, all they care about is money. Yeah. And me, I'm like, I care about my clients. It's like a fast food restaurant.
When you go through the drive-thru, they have a time to get you at the order and here. You ever been to the drive-thru and they be like, can you do me a favor and back up? Yep. And then, you know what I'm saying?
Or go park to the side and I'm going to come get you. Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. So it's all they care about is money. They want the clients in, they want them out. Yeah. Like, and they're paying a lot of money for these lashes. So in 50 minutes, it's like, you're not really getting your money's worth. You're getting some cheap ass lashes and not very good quality work, because in that time you're kind of fucking up your lashes, really. Yeah. Like, if you get them all stuck together, like, you have to know what you're doing. Like, that'll fuck up your natural lashes. Like, there's so much that goes into lashes. But like on top of that, there's a lot of bitches that, not to throw shade, but there's a lot of girls out here that are doing lashes that are unlicensed. You need to be a licensed esthetician or cosmetologist to do lashes.
Stop going to Nene and them to get your lashes done.
But there's a lot of people that are getting certified, which makes me very upset, because like people are, so there are other lash artists that are certifying these girls that are unlicensed for quick money. And so they're giving them a piece of paper saying, okay, I taught you how to do lashes, you can do lashes now. You're not licensed. You have a certificate, but you're not licensed. Crazy. So if state board catches you, you might not even ever be able to get a license.
Yeah.
And like if something goes wrong, like if somebody catches an infection, they can sue the fuck out of your ass. And that's why with business, you have to have insurance, you have to have your license, you have to have all the stuff that backs it up.
So are you certified to certify other people?
No,
it's not. If that's like a different certification.
I don't know exactly. I never really looked too deep into it because people have asked me to.
Yeah.
But honestly,
it sounds like something that
I don't want it. I don't want to do it only because it's like I don't want my name. Say if I teach somebody how to do lashes, and I do a training with them, and then they go and like do their own thing and then fuck somebody's eyes up. I don't want my name on that. There's so much to it that like can kind of like
it can
backfire,
on you
and I'm like I just don't. There's like a lot that goes into it, and I'm like I just don't want. Yeah, it's good money. Like I can charge like $1,000 or more for like a little lesson, but is it worth it to have my name on something that like I don't know? That
I don't know what you're gonna do with it.
Yeah, like they might be great. They might be great, but like also it's like fuck. Like what if? I don't know. It's just a lot that goes behind that. That I'm just like,
too much
I don't want
responsibility.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just don't want to deal with that. But like my girls know, like I have a lot of lash artists that are my friends, and so like now, like I'm not taking any new clients. So when people come to me and they're like, can you take me? Like, I'm like, I can't, but I have other girls that I can refer you to, you know. And if my girls ever have questions about like anything, even so, me and my lash artist, we trade. So I do her lashes, she does mine. I actually don't even look at my lash next. My fill is on Monday, so I'm almost there. Mm-hmm. But we trade services. But even then, like her and I will take feedback on like certain supplies, certain brands, like. Cause
so
she
are
has
you guys building the company together, or is it like you hire her that like she's your employee?
she has her own.
Oh,
she has her own. I have my own. We're just
a studio or
no, we don't even share a studio.
Okay.
We don't even share a studio. So she was also working for the company that I worked for, and that's how we met.
Oh, okay.
And she branched off on her own as well.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of her for that as well. But so like she'll give me like opinions on certain brands or certain like products that she likes or does not like, and I'll do the same for her, and like we kind of give each other feedback on like certain things, like, oh, I love this stuff, like this is good, like you should probably get this, like, or try it out, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm very much a girl's girl. Like, if you come to me and you ask me, like, hey, like, yeah, I can give you whatever information, or if I feel like it will be helpful for you,
so you're
like,
not
I will.
gatekeeping, so to speak.
Yeah, no. If you ask me and I know it, I'm gonna let you know.
Well, that's how I feel it should be, anyways. I mean, what does that take away from you from teaching somebody else? You built your clientele. No. Your money's always gonna be your money.
Yeah,
in a sense.
no.
You don't. If anything, that's your opportunity to give back to other people. You know.
Yeah.
Like I feel like something that always stuck with me was your success is measured by the amount of people that you help.
Right.
You know?
But even that, it's like they're also pouring into me. I'm not just pouring into them. Yeah. They're also pouring into me. Like, so they would help me out. Like, if I have a question, like, hey, have you tried this? Or, like, have questions on certain things. Like, my glue is not working, or, like, for whatever reason, like, are you having problems with it? Like, little things. Like, they'll let me know, and I'll let them know. Like, it's just different little... Or even when it comes to clients, sometimes they're like... what should I do with this client? This client's like doing this, or like it's just little things that it's very helpful to like get other people's opinions that are going through kind of similar situations or have been through similar situations.
Possibly improve. What you're doing and all that.
You're basically you're supporting each other. That's all it is, and that's
the, I mean, because that's in a sense like that's. I mean, it's a lash community, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's dope to hear that you guys are like that, or you girls are like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different when you're in
But
the
not
music
everyone
business.
is like that.
All right, there we go. Because the way you said it, I'm like, damn, maybe I need to do lashes
Well,
too. Everybody's helping each other?
No, not everyone is like that.
Nah, yeah,
and
of
like
course
not
not.
even
That's
just
just
with the
people,
lashes,
though.
but just in general. So like it's like, okay, so like being in the business, or like people see you doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Not everybody is really genuinely happy for you.
No, of course. A lot of the closest people to you be the ones that hate you the most.
Sometimes, like now, my circle is very, very small, but like there are people out there that will just be watching you, like first ones to fucking watch your stories, and like never like it, never support, never, but just first ones to watch. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck do you and sometimes they won't even follow you, but like will be the first ones to watch and like continue to come back. And I'm like,
how do you keep seeing my shit? Are you
you're
really
searching me up and like
Yeah.
looking like, what the fuck does my life have to do with you? Like, mind you, maybe if you put that energy into yourself.
And that's what people don't understand. A lot of people get happiness, so for them is what they feel it is by watching somebody else fail.
Yeah.
You know, you have a light about you. When you walk in the room, people are going to love you. But there's also going to be a group of people that don't like you at all. And they might not even know why they don't like you.
They just, some people are,
it's self-acceptance.
And that is okay.
You're not okay
just,
with being yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, and that's the thing, it's like me, like, I'm always going to be me. So, I don't, whether you like me, you don't like me, that is okay.
Yeah.
If you don't like me, cool.
I'm not here for you to like me.
Cool.
But if you
like,
want to fuck with me, I'll fuck with you.
Yeah, as long as it's, genuine and, like, I'm cool with you.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, like, you can kind of stay away from me. Like, I'll say hi, or like whatever.
No,
but like,
there's no issue, but the energy
I
that
feel
you're
like
bringing.
you're a little, again, the intuition. I'm like, I don't think you're real. Like, I think you're a fake smile on my face, and kind of a little envious for whatever your own insecurities or whatever you have
that's
going
what
on.
It comes down to.
Yeah, but really, it's just like, I don't know. Everyone is like their own. Like, you can't. There's only one you.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm only gonna be me. You can only be you. You can better yourself. You know what I mean?
Course, yeah.
But don't compare yourself to me, and I'm not gonna compare myself to others.
And
You
people
know,
don't understand
you do your
that,
own
though.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess, in a sense, we have social media to blame for things like
Exactly.
that. You know, like a
Exactly.
lot of people aren't okay with just being themselves because of what they see on social media. You know? Like, when I look at it, I see people that are doing way better than me. It doesn't make me hate my life or hate them. Like, it's just motivation, you know? And it's all about the perspective and how you take it, you know?
But also, social media is very fake on top of that. Like, I mean, not very, some of it I will say, because people, like, so what you see on social media, you're not going to see the bad. You're not going to see, like, the low, well, sometimes, I guess, some people pour a lot of their business out there.
Oh,
but, like, you're not going to see
but then it's
our
also
hard times.
understanding that, okay, maybe you're just saying this to get attention. You might not even be necessarily going through that. You know, you're just looking for some extra attention, and
Like,
it's
some
kind of
empathy.
hard to...
And that's hard,
Exactly.
too, because I'm like, why would you be saying this on social media? Like... Because to me, like, if I'm going through something, I mean, I feel like I used to when I was younger and in the past, but, like, now, I won't post, like, a lot of things because I don't want to talk to people.
Right.
So it's like, I'm not going to post something and, like, have people hitting my DMs, like, are you okay? Or, like,
really
what's going on?
Because they care. They just want
They want to be
so to
nosy.
speak. Yeah, exactly.
Even, like,
yeah.
so say, like, if somebody passes away, sometimes I don't really even like to post certain things because they're like, oh, I knew that person, or oh my god, like, I don't, and I'm like, okay, so, I don't know, it's just, I don't know.
You know,
it's just very, yeah, and also, it's just, like I said, like, as business owners and, like, just us like working hard and shit. Like people, so what we post on, so I have my business page and then I have my personal page. But so on my personal page, like they'll see me like when I'm out and like I'm having fun or I'm traveling or like whatever. And so I feel like there's a lot of people that get kind of like envious of it or guys will sometimes get intimidated by it. But at the same time, I'm like, you don't know how much, so like they see us having fun, right?
Yeah.
They see us like living our life and like having fun on our personal pages. But they're not seeing the hard fucking work that we're doing behind that to have that fun.
So essentially, this is why this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And then as well as just creating your content as well. You know, because just as much as there's always going to be, I guess to us, it'll always feel like there's more people that don't like what we're doing and that are going to be envious. Know that there's people out there that are watching what you're doing and they see what you're doing on your business page and then they also see what you're doing on your business page. Excuse me, we already your personal and your business. You know, to me, it's beautiful. Yeah. To see that you built this yourself. But
and you've seen also from like from years ago where I was to like where I am now.
So that's why I wanted to sit down with you because I know it was dope. Like you've always been a hard worker, you know, and you let people get in your way. I don't need to help you with nothing because you figured it out. So essentially, thanks but no thanks. Get off my couch, so to speak. No, I'm good because you helped me. Like, and it's always
support. And like I'm saying, I'm like, I'm going to support people that support me. And like, I know you're genuine. You've always been genuine. You've always been cool as fuck. So it's like, you know, I've always been supportive of your music. What music video was it?
Oh, no. It was lit.
That
was lit. Remember we brought the cake back to your apartment that
night? Oh my god.
Yeah,
he was like, can we have the after party at your place?
Crazy.
Of course. He's like, I'm bringing the speakers. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we went up that night. I think you had the stripper pole too that night.
My stripper pole, I still got it. It's on my parents' house. My dad don't want to let me bring it back home with me. He's like, nah, that's mine. No, I'm like, bro, I know it's in a closet somewhere, okay?
But on a serious note, you know, where you're at, I know it's in a positive mindset. Don't worry about those people though, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because there's people that are watching and they're seeing how you're running your business and they also see you pouring into yourself. And that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people have failed businesses. A lot of people have successful businesses, but they're so overly invested in it, they forget that in order for this to continue to run successfully, you have to be there for yourself, so to speak. You know, you got to take those trips and get your nails done and you know, the self-care, self-love.
And sometimes that shit feels like a chore. Like, do you think I want to go get my nails done when I can have my nail lady is pretty quick, so she gets me in and out in an hour. I know some people go and take 2 hours, but on a Sunday, on my day off, you think I want to go sit at a nail shop for an hour? Like, when I can do things that I have to do, like clean or run some errands or even just chill. Like, you know, like relax, I just want to chill. But, so it's really, but like I said, I need my nails in. So if I'm hung the fuck over, I will be there. My nail lady last time was like.
So have you ever had a time when you overly poured into yourself, so to speak, and you were drunk, hungover, and you had to go to work the next day? Yeah. But I will always go to work, and that's the thing. I will pull through. Like, I will pull through. I will make shit happen. I will make sure the lashes are slayed. But I will be in there looking like shit. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to be cute. I'm not going to be cute. I'm going to look like shit in a hoodie with my hair up and, like, throw some shit on, but the lashes are always slayed. Like, I can't do that. And then I'm hating myself as I'm doing it, but I'm still going to get it done. Get it done. Well, because you set yourself essentially up to, you can't fail. You know, like you're running this business, so you don't get to call in. So what's next for you? Do you plan on building up enough clientele to where that you can hire another lash tech on? And essentially really become like the bosses, like you got 3 people, you know, or is that just what you want to do right now?
I don't know. Like, it's been up in the air because my youngest sister actually does nails, and she does a bomb-ass nails. And I'm trying to get her to move out here.
Oh, y'all need to open the shop.
So, when she moves out here, I would like us to have our own place together. She could do nails, and I'll do lashes. And also, I'm like, girl, you have an upper hand because, like, my clients are already waiting for you.
Right.
Like, so it's not like you're starting fresh and have nobody.
Right.
Like, you've got people, like, literally waiting.
Because of how they already fuck with you, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I can come get my nails
and they
done
see
here
her,
too.
she has an Instagram page with, like, her nails, and she does a bomb. Honestly,
Nice.
like, if she lived in Sac, I would be getting my nails done with her. But because I get mine done so often and I'm not in Merced as much, like, I need my shit done every 2-3 weeks max.
So essentially that's what's next for you, is like not the getting the employees, but kind of trying to get your sister out here and see
we'll see where it goes. Yeah. I'm kind of just like, I play it by ear, honestly. It's God's plan. Like, everything that happens, it's gonna happen for a reason and the way it's supposed to be. I don't even worry about certain shit anymore because I'm like, if shit doesn't fall through, it wasn't supposed to be that way. Like, everything happens for a reason, and even if it doesn't work out the way that I wanted it to or expected it to, I might be upset at that time, but I'm going to find out later. That was why it didn't work out. That was why it didn't work out, and this is why it's coming the way it is. Because it's just, I don't know. Like I said, during that pandemic, I had a lot of time to myself, and I had a lot of self-reflecting to do. I had, that's when I had to figure out, like, my goals and, like, my game plan and just, like, okay, what is it that I really want? I had so much time. Like I said, I live alone. So it was just me and my bunny. So I have a bunny. So I'm not a dog because I don't got time for a dog, but a bunny. And so it was just me and him. And he was my little COVID partner. But that's when I really set my game plan, and I was like, okay, if I'm not going to go back to that place, like, this is my time to do it. So once they said, like, okay, we're going to open back up at this time, I let my manager know. I was like, okay. So, and my parents helped me out with this as well. Like, this is the one, like, my parents, like, now that they're, you know, they have their shit together, we're all out, like, they're older now, like, they've got, you know, they're not as young as they used to be. They have their own money now, for sure. So, they definitely helped me. They helped me get started. Like, so for Christmas that year, they were like, what do you want for Christmas? I want stuff to, like, build my what I need to, like my starter stuff to, like, start my business. They were like, cool, you got it, say less. So they helped me with that. And then they were just very supportive of it. And so once my manager hit me, I was like, okay, well, you know what? I feel like, I don't even remember the exact text I sent her because I felt so bad saying it as well because I felt like bad, like, damn, I'm not going to go back. And I feel like they kind of need me. But at the same time, I'm like, I have to think about myself. This is like a selfish moment, and I'm like, if I'm gonna leave, this is the time. This is the time that I can do it.
That was your way of being able to get out.
Without me working for them again, and then leaving in the middle of it, and then they can also think like, oh, she's taking our clients.
Right. So it was kind of like just letting them know, like, oh yeah, I won't be back.
Yeah.
I actually started my own or whatever.
Yeah. So I basically just let them know, like, all right, my parents are helping me out, and, like, I feel like this is, like, the best time to do it. Like, I'm gonna do my own thing. And I was a little bit nervous sending the text message to my manager, but she was very supportive as well. And she was like, you know what? Like, okay, like, I understand. I'm proud of you. Like, I hope you go very far. Like, you know.
Well, it's hard to take the best chance you can take is on yourself, you know.
You have to.
But it's hard, too, because you don't.
It's an uncomfortable situation. You don't know what's going to happen.
But how else do we grow?
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Honestly, if you're comfortable, you're not growing.
Exactly.
That's what
Say
they always
that
told
again
me.
for everybody.
If you're comfortable, you're not growing.
Man.
You gotta put yourself in uncomfortable ass situations to grow. Like even this right now, I had never been on a podcast. So I was like, but like,
Now
okay,
watch how many
what the hell is Kali gonna
ask
ask me? Like, I'm like, damn, is he gonna get deep? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know.
You know what?
But
There was certain things that you said that there was no need to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like my whole, it's no filter for a reason. You know.
Yeah.
But my main goal was to dig deep. You know what I'm saying? For
Yeah.
people that probably don't know that they have these qualities in them because of the things that they went through.
Mhm.
I asked certain questions.
Yeah.
Your answers that led up to being what it was, and was like, oh, she doesn't need my help. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, it's this though. It gives you an opportunity to have more content
Yeah.
for yourself. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So that people can get a different side of you. I feel like my biggest thing was always, I hated sitting down for interviews. People are not asking the right questions. It's not personal. I want to build the personal side. You know,
You
like,
want them to get to know you
exactly.
for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And what led me to be that artist, you know? So it's like, this is an opportunity to give other people that they'll hear you, that maybe haven't booked you yet, and they might want to try to get in. But she's not accepting nobody.
Oh my
so,
God, thank you. I'm sorry, but I got girls that you can get
exactly.
in with, okay?
So, and it might be time for you to get your own employee.
I don't know.
If you see, that's another, you scared. That's all I'm here to make you realize.
And if Kali gets famous after this and goes viral,
famous. I'm good.
Well, yeah, he is famous.
But we ain't here for me.
We're out of the honey.
Shit. That's crazy. Okay, so before we get out of here, the question that I do want to ask is, you're very successful already.
Mm-hmm.
You're growing. You still got things that you're figuring out. From somebody that's watching, that wants to be where you're at, or you know, follow some of your footsteps or whatever, what's the best advice you feel like you could give somebody?
Honestly, you're always growing. You're never gonna know everything because things are always changing.
Mm.
Like, things are always changing. The lashes are changing, the products are changing. Even outside of that, shit changes all the time. So you can't ever just focus on like one little thing and stay there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not gonna go nowhere because styles change.
Mm.
Our how we dress changes. Everything changes. So like, you have to go with the flow. Like, you have to keep investing in yourself and growing. And then also sometimes you might not know what you're doing, but you got to go for it. Like, when I started, I really didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
You have to fake it until you make it, kind of.
Yeah.
You gotta fake it until you make it. Don't take it the wrong way.
And a lot of people do, but it is a way to do it.
You have to make sure not even like, I'm not gonna say fake it, but you have to be confident.
Believe that you already have it, because you do. The universe is always going to conspire in your favor.
You gotta be confident in what you're doing and grow with it. Like, don't stay stuck in something.
Right.
Just grow with it. You know, listen to other people's advice. Like, so with my other lash artists, listen to them. They're not there to try to. Don't take
constructive criticism.
Yes, you have to take that and learn from
Mm-hmm.
it. You have to take that and learn from it. Like, you always do. And there's nothing wrong with that, like, at all. Like, I love that, actually, because it helps me grow.
Yeah. You know what?
You're making me better.
Exactly. And you know, like, my favorite quote is, I have to remind myself every day, is all I know is I know nothing. You know, and so that reminds me that there's always an opportunity to grow. Mm-hmm. You know, and I can always learn from somebody else.
Someone else can.
Exactly. Yeah, most definitely.
So, there you go.
There we go. Another episode of No Filter Podcast with the beautiful Alyssa. Lashed away.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.